I ain't trying to make you more aggravated, but
Like that. Oh, that nigga, that crazy. What he sent you this?
You ain't see. I got proof. He said I got proof that Solomon didn't repent. I'm like, send the verse then,
That nigga, that's too stupid. All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. We're going to pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life. So long, Jay. And you think you have eternal life, and there they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Allah in you. I come in my Abba's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you. The Abba, there's one that accused you, even Moses, for whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Psalms 88 and 1. I don't know why this nigga intent on excluding somebody out of the kingdom that he not even gonna get in.
Amen.
You know, it's funny that since you showed this here right before I read this Psalm 88:1, is that individuals think repentance is a prerequisite for forgiveness. Now I'm gonna ask you a question. Where you read David repented at? I'm talking about his forfeits say I repent. Now, of course, you know he repented because he never returned back to that behavior. See, a lot of individuals be looking for it to say I repent versus looking at what John the Baptist said, bring forth fruits meet for repentance. Because a lot of niggas just be running their mouth. So like it says, you know, your heart is far, you know what I'm saying? With your mouth you show much love, but your heart is far from me. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at Adam, where was the repentance at? Now, of course, you can look at his actions, but where do you see him say that? See, Yahuwah had already determined to forgive Adam. Yahuwah had before Nathan came and gave David that parable, Yahuwah had already forgave the man. Now, David didn't know that, but Yahuwah had already done that. David pronounced judgment against his own head. What good is repentance at that point? At that point, you need the forgiveness of Yahuwah. You need the mercy of Yahuwah. Shalom, Emma Shalom. Because guess what? Ahab repented and he got murdered. See, I showed this man this here because individuals just up and down swear to God, Solomon's so wicked, he ain't going to get in the kingdom, this, that, there, and the third, and totally disregard that in 2 Samuel chapter 7, when Yahuwah told David that he would set his son up on the throne, he said, and I quote, I will not take my mercy from him like I did the man who came before you. Now, let me show it to you just in case you thought I was making that up.
Yeah, I think you're making it up.
Shalom, Mother Steph. Shalom. Shalom. Come over here to 2 Samuel, pardon me, chapter 7. 2 Samuel, chapter 7. You can look at that verse 9. See, a lot of these niggas, they wicked as hell. That's some good limeade right there. 2 Samuel, chapter 7, verse 8. Now therefore shall you say unto my servant David, thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, I took you from the sheepcote and from following the sheep. Peace, Doc, man, peace. To be ruler over my people, Yasharal. Peace, Misa. This makes me missing it because I just said right. And I went with you whithersoever you went and have cut off all your enemies out of your sight, have made you a great name like unto the name of the great that are in the earth. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people, Yasharal, and I will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own and move no more. Neither shall the sons of wickedness afflict them anymore as before time. See, listen, that takes us back to that conversation we had last night in Ezekiel 38 and well, we didn't read 39. of why he won't let Gog and Magog come mess with you once you get put back in the land. He's not going to allow these, shalom, Brother Marvin, he's not going to allow these people to do nothing to you. Not after he done came and got you. He's saying, since the time that I commanded judges over my people, Yasharal, and have caused you to rest from all your enemies, also Yahuwah will tell you that he will make you a house. And when your days shall be fulfilled, you shall sleep with your fathers. I will set up a seed after you, which shall proceed out of your bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. He's talking about Solomon. You already know this. He said, I'm going to set up the seed after you. Now I'm going to ask y'all this question for information. Shalom, Lord Marshall. I'm going to ask y'all a question. Who was supposed to be king when David died? His firstborn, Shalom 10K. Do you know his name? It does. Adonijah was supposed to be king, but Yahuwah chose Solomon.
Yeah, prepare the ceremony and everything.
Yeah. Yahuwah chose Solomon. Now, I just want you to keep that in mind. He said, and when your days shall be fulfilled, this is verse 12, 2 Samuel 7, and you shall sleep with your fathers, I will set up a seed after you, which shall proceed out of your bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. And he shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Now, we know this in Solomon because he's the one who built the house. I will be his father, he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the sons of Adam. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away from youth. The man is already telling you, I'm not taking my mercy from Solomon. There's nothing to talk about. Did Solomon worship other gods in service to his wives? Absolutely. And you read what happened. Did he acquit Solomon of that? No. He said he forgives sins, but by no means clears the guilty. So when you go read 1 Kings chapter 11, he said, I'm going to take 10 tribes from you, but I'm going to leave a tribe in Jerusalem for my servant David's sake, that he might always have a light always before me. This is what he said. Now, it's ironic that I said that, Emma, because I seen they was in there battling if the Lord is the light in Genesis chapter 1. He is, but not in the sense how they like to argue it. In a different fashion, like he's a literal light, like the literal light that brought light on the earth. He's representative of that light. He's not the actual light. When he said, let there be light, and there's light outside, he's representative of that light because that light brought light. But is he the light in the sky? No. The same way he represents the tree of life. Was he the literal tree of life? No. See, matter of fact, this just came to my mind. I'm going to work this in just a moment. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just like he represents a lot of things. But was he literally that? No. No. But he has to be the light because in him was the light, and the light was the life of men, because Elohim is light. So that's how you know that he is the light, but he's not the literal light that's outside. But that's a whole nother conversation. I only mention that because I just said what's in 1 Kings 11, about 37 and 38. We just read it the other day. He said, hey, man, I left one tribe for you. And he said, but I won't snatch these kingdoms away from you until you die. You won't have to see it. See, listen, when Yahuwah is done with you, he don't put caveats of punishment. He just killed you. See, how do you know this? Because when David sinned, what did he tell David? I'm going to take your wives and give them to another man. That baby going to die, and the sword is always going to be in your house. But I put that sin away. And you know why people don't know this? Because they don't know where he says he forgives sin and iniquity, but by no means clears the guilty. Meaning, I can forgive you for the sin, but you will still be punished for your misdeeds like any father would, who rewards a child for disobedient and rebellious conduct.
People don't understand. He stirred up Solomon's adversaries
to do this. He took the peace away. But see, what people's problem is they are too swift to talk about men more righteous than them. And that's a problem. Whether these are men who have a memorial who are more righteous than them, or men or women for that matter, who were in the flesh and have the nerve to talk about people who are more righteous than them. One thing I'm going to tell you, man, and you can take it for however you want to take it. You should always be advised to watch who you put your mouth on. Because you could mess around, you could talk against somebody who has a name in heaven, and you don't, and Yahuwah going to come see you about that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not telling you this like this, because we already discussed this here, right? I don't care how much you disagree with a preacher's doctrine. There's a protocol to how to handle those things. You are not supposed to step to anybody in authority and speak to them reproachfully. Your law don't allow for that. It don't matter if you wicked. It don't matter if you don't like what he teach. Your law does not allow for such conduct. There is a way to rebuke an individual of that fashion. Now, if you don't want to follow that protocol, then, hey, man, that's on you. But thinking that you could just walk up on anybody because you ain't with all that disrespect. It doesn't matter if you don't agree with his doctrine. Yahuwah put that wicked nigga there for a purpose. Let Yahuwah deal with that. That's not your job. You know how many preachers it is that I don't care for, and I know them niggas trash, and I ain't never stepped down on these niggas, man. Y'all know it's a preacher right now. I don't fool with that nigga. You ain't never heard me say nothing about this man. And I don't fool with this nigga. I'm talking about personally. This ain't about no word. As a man, I don't fool with this. You know what I'm talking about? Because the way that this man conducted himself, the way that I was raised would not allow me to fool with this nigga. The only reason why that nigga get a pass because my people fool with this nigga. That's it. You know what I'm talking about? And you got to learn how to have that ability to walk around here. I don't like this nigga. Come on, man. You got to be grown. You got to be an adult. You got to be a professional. You got to be godly. You got to put your personal thoughts, feelings, and concerns out of the way. It ain't about you. It's about you. You cannot fool with somebody and still be a professional. The man say if your enemy be hungry, give him something to eat. If he be thirsty, give him milk to drink. And doing so, you heat coals of fire on his head. You know what I'm saying? That man say you don't overcome evil with evil, you come overcome evil with good. See, we gonna stand on godliness, boy, and let that be a testimony against you. So when you bust hell wide open, you gonna know Yahuwah sent me around this corner. Yeah, that's how you do it. Psalms 88:1. If you want to fuss, fight, and argue with niggas, you need to go back to the block with that. We under a different command. Psalms 88:1. Oh, Yahuwah Elohim of my salvation. I've cried day and night before you. Let my prayer come unto you. Incline your ear unto my cry, for my soul is full of troubles. My life draw near unto the grave. I'm counted with them that go down into the pit. I'm as a man no strength, free among the dead, like the slain that lie in the grave, whom you remember no more, and they are cut off from your hand. You laid me in the lowest pit, in darkness in the deep, your wrath lay hard upon me, and you have afflicted with all your ways. You have put away my acquaintance far from me. You have made me an abomination unto them. I shut up, I cannot come forth. My mourn by reason of affliction, Yahuwah. I've called daily upon you. I've stretched out my hands unto you. Will you show wonders unto the dead? Shall the dead arise and praise you? Shall your loving kindness be declared in the grave, your faithfulness in destruction? Shall your wonders be known in the dark, and your righteousness in the land of forgetfulness? Let's go over here to Psalm 45. I remembered yesterday that I didn't touch them waters. I said we were talking about the well with the waters, and we were going to look at Rebecca, and we ain't never get around there. Y'all willing, we'll do that now. I know we still need to talk about his grace being poured in his lips. I still need to read some of these protocols, the early ones where they tell you that they want to turn your faith from God. Prayerfully, this storm won't affect no internet by Wednesday. But be advised, as it looks right now, there will be no need to be physically gathering right now. I think they just say, well, that storm topped out at about 220 miles per hour. Now, it probably won't hit land at that type of force, but that's some force nonetheless. Peace, Brother Nate. That's some force on the left. Which means that even us being in the cone, boy, if it was to hit land at 220, just us being in the cone, boy, we would probably get category 2 hurricane type effects, even though that jump 3+ hours away from here. You know what I'm saying? Right, no exaggeration. I know a lot of people like, oh, we done rolled out her. Man, nigga, you ain't never seen no hurricane like this before in your life. You know what I'm saying? You who will have a lot of niggas dead. Just like you talking about that pride of life gonna have a lot of niggas dead because they not gonna respect his power. I know a lot of people think, oh, they cloud seed and all that. If they did, Yahuwah put it in their mind to do it, so it's still him. Because who controlled the wind and the rain? Hold on, let me show you. Hold on. Yep, let me show you something. Come over here to this song. I don't even think it's Psalm 45 I want. Hold
on. Well, I see a lot of people get a little timid.
I mean, I know people a little timid on this go around because they ain't never seen nothing like this before. One, a storm getting this powerful this quickly. It's unprecedented, to say the least. I gotta find the verse I want. This ain't it. It's escaping my mind. But come over here, I'll show you what the second part I was gonna come to. I think it's in the book of Matthew. Lord willing, it'll come to mind in a minute. I want to say it ain't that. I know it ain't that song. I just read it, so it can't be that one. But I'll show it to you in 3 places. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me get around now. Matthew chapter, what is it, 8 and 23? And when he was entered into his ship, and his disciples followed him, and behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, and so much that the ship was covered with the waves, but he was asleep. And his disciples came and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. First and foremost, whose story is this? It is Jonah's story. Let's take a look at it. Jonah chapter 1. Yes, come on. Jonah chapter 1. Now, why are we taking the time to look at this here? Because these are the small elements to let you know that he was the one testified aforetime. Jonah chapter 1. What verse I want? Verse 1, that's fine. 1 and 1. Now the word of Yahuwah came unto Jonah the son of Amittai, saying, Arise and go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for the wickedness has come up before me. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of Yahuwah, and went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish, so he paid the fare thereof, went down into it to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of Yahuwah. But Yahuwah sent out a great wind in the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was broken. Say it's worse than Hurricane Katrina. I mean, a lot of people do believe that the government controlling this stuff with weapons, but then you would have to look at it. What benefit do they get from it? Because they're not killing enough people. Because Helene killed 200 people. And if I'm going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars and billions of dollars for that type of weaponry, I'm going to kill more than a couple hundred people. I can tell you that right now. I'm going to kill way more people than that. I remember they said that junk, and that meme popped up in my memories a few weeks back. Say they spent all that money and only 7 people died. But it's easier to put it on Mr. Charlie than to believe that Yahuwah bringing wrath upon men's heads for their wickedness. You know what I'm talking about? But you got to realize everybody don't believe in God, and that's fine. That's okay. You don't got to run around and tell people this the wrath of God, this the wrath of God. He going to show them. I ain't got to do all that. They'll find it out when it come across their head. Because at the end of the day, these type of storms have always been going on. Then you take into account just this simple thing right here. It is warmer than it's ever been. Listen, right? I'm born and raised in Northeast Florida, right? In the 80s and 90s, It used to get cold, cuz. I'm talking about cold enough to put on a winter jacket. Truth be told, around this time when we was in middle school and high school, around this month right here, the fair would be coming. And about a week before that fair come, that halt go to coming and that temperature drop. You know what I'm talking about? And I can tell you about the time period I noticed that it wasn't getting cold anymore. It was about 2004. About 2004. This is right before I went to prison. You know what I'm saying? I went to prison. I got caught and locked up for the case and sent me to prison December 2nd, 2004. We weren't wearing jackets like that in no October, November, December. It wasn't getting cold. When I got out of prison, bro, I did not own a jacket for at least 13 years. That jacket I bought, that leather and wool jacket I got right now, I bought it because one day it happened, it was going to be 20 degrees. And it ain't really been cold like that on a regular basis. Like, look at, man, my mama bought me one of them full-length jackets like they wear in New York. You know what I'm talking about? It was a Jordan jacket. I got good wear out of that jacket because, bro, it used to be cold. When I say cold, I'm calling my cold for Florida standards, meaning the high would be mid-50s. And when that sun went down, it was going to be brick. And when that wind go to blowing, that junk going to cut through you like a Ginsu knife. It don't be like that no more. And y'all know that because most of the wintertime, you niggas is not dressed for no winter. Niggas don't even buy winter clothes no more. For what? At least in December, January, February, you knew it was going to be brick. It don't even get cold then. We still be in the upper 70s. And it don't be cold at night. Because at least you knew it was going to be warm in the daytime, but when the sun went down, hey, boy, it's going to be brick. Why you think niggas get sick all the time around here? Because you be like, this here, it's warm, then it's cool, then it rains, then it's this. It used to be consistent. Shalom, Brother Marco. It's not the same no more. Shalom, Hashem. Look at Lisa. I do love sweaters. I bet you do. So when you take that, if the temperature warmer, the water going to be warmer. And then it's going across a part of the Gulf that they say. Then people talk about hurricanes don't come from Mexico before. Yes, they have. Plenty of time. Talking about, ain't this many hurricanes ever came back to back? Yes, it did. They said back in 2004, it was like six hurricanes came in a 6-week span. But most people too young to remember it. They act like this just started happening like one hurricane left and another one came. This ain't nothing new. Man, it don't benefit them white folks to tear these cities up because they're going to have to spend more money to rebuild them. It's going to slow their money down. It's going to stop their money. And they got to kick money out because they got to pay insurance claims that they don't want to pay. People not going to be going to work. Man, they said in Fort Myers, they still rebuilding from a storm that hit them in 2022. Say Georgia don't get cold either. October, September, we got fall weather. We still, yeah. Listen. He said it ain't raining. Oh, he said, Marvin said it ain't raining in Austin in a month. It's been raining around here every day. But I just say that to saying is some people just be talking. I'm from Florida. I've been living here all my life. Yeah, the storms have increased over the years. You know what I'm saying? A lot. There used to be hurricanes. They ain't never come nowhere near Jacksonville. It's been several in the last 10 years on a regular, almost every year. Just because of how Jacksonville is situated, it's very difficult for a direct hit to hit here. But we almost had one in 2016 with Matthew. You know how we know? Because we were keeping tabernacle, and all us was at my sister's house. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas literally had to evacuate like this ain't no game or that whole sliding up St. Augustine. Y'all finna catch some of this here. Yeah, we was at Hannah Park. Because that's when, I don't even know why he went. Because niggas had to go, because niggas didn't want to go get Will from work across that bridge. Because they were trying to get over that bridge before they shut them down. I don't even know that nigga because I wouldn't have went. Yeah, because we ain't gonna call their names, but we know the two niggas who ain't want to go get him, and they was on that side of town. I said, that's tough. The crazy part is they was on that side of town and still came on the side. We was on the other side of the bridge. He left from Arlington to come on the north side and go get this man. Y'all was already over there. Because the reason being is he was out there working for a tree cutting company, and they was like, oh, y'all boys got to go. And they was like, somebody got to go get him before they close the bridge. Once the winds hit to it, Peace Brother, he say, Brother Francis, Peace Brother Francis, he say it's hot as ever in Jamaica too. See, when the winds hit a certain speed, they close the bridges. Because basically, if you try to drive across that bridge and that wind blowing like that, your car going off that bridge. Especially that Dames Point, especially that Matthews. The Hart Bridge, you might could get by. That Fuller Warren, you going off. The Buckman, you definitely going off. You know what I'm saying? The Main Street Bridge, you might be spared. But that Dames Point, oh, you done. You're done. And as Mama Steph mentioned the other day, which I already know, a lot of people play games. I was just telling Jimmy this earlier. A lot of times in certain areas, when the people tell you to slide, they telling you to slide because if it get real, ain't nobody coming to save you. See how that go back to that part we read in the protocol about you looking for the nation/womb to come save you so you don't have to be responsible. Just like you was a child, you ain't got to be responsible because mama going to come get you. Then the people going to tell you, man, if I send my responders out there, they might die trying to come and get you. You own your own. You on your own. But people don't believe that because they still think the police going to come get you. No, you on your own, cuz. Should have got your silly behind from out of there. Now, most of us don't live by the river. Now, I ain't going to tell you no lie. That tree right there is a problem. Because depending on how strong the winds is, that junk can snatch that tree right up out of that whole fall, right through this house. Somebody just died in the city because a tree fell through their mobile home and crushed them to death. There was this lady in Georgia. She died because a tree fell through her mobile home and crushed her, and she fell on her twins and crushed them. So one thing about it, you better have respect for you who is power. I can tell you that.
But if you got tremendous respect for the power, but you don't fear how the news say flee, get out.
No, depending on where you stay, you need to get out of there. Like when they talking about where that storm coming, bro, it's really coming literally through Tampa Bay. I'm not talking about the city. I'm talking about the Bay. That's going to cause for 12 to 14 foot storm surges. At that point, you tipped in Yahuwah. Get your behind from up out of there.
I feel like in that situation, Malachimo Regimax said,
get your behind from up out of there. You tip. That's exactly what Satan say. Jump off this thing. He can save you. You don't got to try him like that.
When he tell people to get up out there, he did with Lot, like he did with anything.
But I mean, if he got people telling you, get your silly behind from out of there, get from out of there. Some stuff you ain't got to be like, I'm gonna prove my faith. If it's a 14-foot storm surge and you live along the water, bro, you're gonna die. You're gonna die.
Yeah, I know you about it. I'm just saying, like, I look at, they say, you and Jasper need to free.
I mean, they telling me, they just going too far. You know what I'm saying? But they talking about the people who live by the river, who live on the beach.
Yeah, you live on the beach, that just kind of simple.
Yeah, they talking about the people who live by the water because of the storm surge. Because no matter where that hurricane at, it's going to affect the water. So like people who live in San Marco, people who live in Lackawanna, you know what I'm talking about? See, like my cousin, she stayed right by the river. You know what I'm saying? So that's dangerous. When I talk to my uncle, he say, hey, where we at in Tampa, we inland, we got natural barriers. He said, I think we're going to be good. You know what I'm talking about? But if you stay by that water, you got to get up out of there.
Yeah, I'm talking about people that stay inland like in Tampa. And it's coming
I mean, a category 5, bro, I'm gone. I'm not even finna stick around for that. I don't even think niggas realize, bro, category 5 is 175 mile per hour winds or greater. I'm not riding that out. I'm gone. I'm not even riding that out. If I can get up out of there, just sitting in traffic. If I can get up out of there, I'm finna get up out of there. It's like if that storm was to literally make land at 220 miles per hour, bro, that's catastrophic. You're not coming up out of that because that's snatching your roof off. That junk's coming off. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that roof coming off. You know what I'm saying? Because then you got to worry about trees falling. It's just certain stuff. I'm just gonna get out of it. Category 1 or 2, we can rock that out. A 3 or a 4, you might need to consider, depending on where you stay at. A 5, I'm gone. If they said a category 5 was coming straight from Jacksonville, bro, I'm not staying here. Yeah, but it ain't hit directly here though. 5 is powerful. You know what I'm saying? You seen what Katrina did in New Orleans, bro. And that was a 4. No, that was Matthew. Yeah, that didn't hit here. That was Matthew. That was Matthew. Dwight said he ain't staying for a 4. A 4 is powerful. A 5, it was a 4 or a 5. I get you, but a 5, you're not gonna make it, bro.
Yeah, I ain't
You're not gonna make it.
Don't stand on top of the roof. Yeah, I ain't talking about niggas staying beach. I ain't talking about.
I mean, even
on the roof and saying.
No, I mean even inland. I mean even inland. If it was a 200-mile-per-hour storm coming this way, bro, I'm not staying here because I know that roof is coming off. You know what I'm saying? That roof is your roof.
People that got like bunkers and stuff.
Ain't nobody got no bunkers in Florida. But ain't nobody got no bunkers in Florida. Man, ain't nobody got no bunkers here.
I didn't ask that. I said somebody do got a bunker.
Man, look at that. Man, ain't nobody. It said ain't no if no God because they got bunkers up north. They can get in there. Ain't no bunkers here. We too close to sea level to have a bunker.
So no bunker could be.
No, we sea level.
So no bunkers in Florida.
I'm talking about boy, very small few. Definitely not in nobody's house. Yeah, they got bunkers. But here though, we too close to sea level. So you're not finna have when they build underground bunkers, they don't come to Florida to do that. They go in other states and do that.
I know that they do that in the West.
Yeah, we just too close to sea level. You know what I'm saying? So it's not feasible. That's why we don't have subway. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too close to sea level. It's just some stuff you just got to slide. You know what I'm saying? It's some if you can't slide, that's one thing. They go to the shelters or they stay in their house and hope they don't die.
Because when you said I'm leaving, I'm like, if somebody don't have money, they don't have
I mean, most people
tell me to leave when shelters get too far up and something wrong.
No, they just tell them to get the hell out of here. Depending on how bad the storm is, they might open up most places for shelter. That's the number one reason why they close the schools. Yeah. Because the schools become the shelters. Oh, I feel you. I understand. But 4 or 5, I'm not riding that out. And I get you. You can have faith and trust in Yahuwah, but he also tell you to use wisdom. And wisdom don't tell you to try to ride out a 220-mile-per-hour storm. He in the midst of that, but why would you put your children at risk for that? Because if he's giving you time to get out of it, you have to sit back and look at it, right? When stuff like that happen, he have his people leave. So he tell you get out of here. And give you an example. Regardless, you're going to know when he's telling you to leave. He don't got to give you no grade A warning. I'll give you an example. It says a prudent man sees evil and hides himself. That's what he tell you in the proverb. So when you see evil coming, he going to tell you to get up out of there because the righteous not supposed to get caught up in that. You don't stay there.
Yeah, but if I look at the news channel run by sinners, niggas that scared they don't know it's ready, they fearful. And I get that on the natural. Like I really get how they.
I mean, I knew how you getting it, but you taking it a step too far. It's not if they fearful. It's the fact that you looking.
It's wise. I mean, it's wise. The category's coming. You don't know.
Yeah, you got to slide.
When disaster comes, like you.
See, I give you an example. With most storms, they ain't never been this powerful, and they over exaggerate. And that's why a lot of people get caught up. Oh, it ain't that bad. I think. Oh no. I'm talking about category 1s and 2s. 3s and 4s, people still be like, I can ride it out. I don't think in the history that of any of us being alive has anybody ever seen a storm this strong headed for a peninsula. You know what I'm saying? So this is the one time where they looking like, I'm not playing with him this time.
Yeah,
That's it.
I know Jeremiah 5 said, "Ain't you not gonna send out my prayers?" I get all of that.
No, I'm talking about just natural born people. Like most people in Florida who live here, they look at stuff like that and be like, we can ride it out. But this is the only hurricane I ever seen. They didn't do this when Andrew came. And Andrew was powerful. This was in 1992. It pretty much wiped Homestead, Florida out. You know what I'm saying? That junk looked like a nigga dropped a bomb on that. You know what I'm saying?
It don't look like me. Y'all really have whoever was fine, whoever was doing this. When he returns, it's gonna be earthquakes. And
it is, but when you look at it, when you look at in that, and even in that instance, certain people get ducked off. But when you look at an instance where he come through and to destroy a city, he get his people out of there before he do it.
I look at it every time he gets people out. Right, this person telling that other person.
I mean, it don't. It's not always necessarily. That's not always the case.
From what I see, how he does it in the text from Abraham to Lot.
I mean, but that's one. Then you got others where it's like, hey, every watchman on the thing ain't like this here, and also at the same token, a warning don't have to come from a saint. No, I mean you got plenty of people in there who wicked nigga telling, hey man, y'all better. Capheus gave them people a warning about the Lord. That nigga was wicked as hell.
When you say that, what you mean?
When he told them, hey man, it's expedient that one die for the people. This nigga was wicked as hell.
I mean, like, let's say like here you say, hey, from what you just said, hey, category for coming from you, I'd be like, okay, bet. If I wouldn't have this conversation with you, I would have been like how my mindset. But if you saying this with the wisdom and knowledge,
I mean, when you look at any, I mean, if you look at any man who's over a congregation of people and he interacting with them and he see that, he has to have wisdom. It's his job to watch over these people.
Yeah, so that's what I said. Coming from you, if you saying that, I'll take heed.
Yeah, that's why I told y'all Wednesday night, y'all gonna have to stay home.
Yeah, that's what I said. If I turn on
that ain't gonna make no sense.
I'm not. But if you saying that, that's totally.
I mean, I can look at the news. I see a 220 mile per hour storm coming. I don't give a damn what they talking about. That storm telling me enough.
I mean, yeah.
Because that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a storm. I'm not even listening to none of them. I'm looking at the power of the storm and where it's going. You know what I'm talking about? Like if we was in Tampa, bro, we would have already left. I'm talking about when I say already left, we would have left last week. We wouldn't even be waiting to fight with these people because we would have kept tabernacle somewhere else. We would have already left. Like, hey, we gonna have to figure this out, pull this together. We gone. We not even finna wait to figure out what's going on because we got a service to perform and it's too risky to try to do this knowing that's coming. You know what I'm saying? So we out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because the last thing you want to do is, well, we gonna keep this here, and then you got families. You got to think. You can't think about, oh, I ain't like when it was COVID, nigga. We gathered. Them crackers just gonna have to lock us up. But when they come in this storm, you have to think about everybody, the children, people, families, because they got it. You gonna be thinking about your family.
But think about that though. With COVID, we still gathering, but they saying it's a deadly disease. If you around somebody that's what they saying.
I mean, but that's different because that's some junk. Y'all just saying niggas gonna get sick. Versus, I see the power of Yahuwah barreling down on where we at, and it's dangerous for us to try to wait to leave when I can see it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about based on.
I can see how that junk is.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff can keep. But what I'm talking about is, I see a 220 mile per hour storm barreling down on a waterway. But that's what I mean, but I'm talking about before it get inland, it's got to come up off a waterway. And we live near water. So we have to take that into account. Because it's not just going to be the ocean, it's going to be the St. John's also. Because if you remember during Matthew, the city got flooded. You know what I'm saying? So we have to take that into account. Man, this thing ain't clogged up. No. You gotta take. No, I'm talking about you gotta take. We just gotta take that into account because is this the wrong one? Hold on, y'all. I think Shalom, Amon. What's happening, so? Peace, brother Omar. That's all. We gotta take that into account because It can get serious real quick.
Yeah, no.
And then what ends up happening is, what ends up happening is something go wrong, somebody get killed, somebody get injured, they blaming you. Because you was the one who was supposed to watch out for them and tell them X, Y, Z, they're gonna blame you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about the government, I'm talking about your members. They're gonna blame you because they're gonna be like, why you didn't warn us? Why you let us stay here? You know what I'm saying? So you have to watch that, and then you have to have wisdom to know, hey, whether to stay, whether to go. You know what I'm saying? With that one, if we was in Tampa, we would, like I said, we would already been gone. We wouldn't even try to keep Tabernacles there. Once a nigga would have said, hey, it's a storm out here, it looked like it's heading for Tampa, we're not finna wait to figure that out. No, it's too risky. We got too many kids. Like with all of us, we got too many kids to even play them type of games. If we gotta go, we gotta go. You know what I'm saying? If it was just us adults and nobody had kids, all right, you could play the game a little different. But with them kids, we gotta get the hell on. We gotta get the hell on. Peace out.
I feel like, if you do eventually in your spirit, that's how you feel. Then I think you should move accordingly, just like that. 100%.
Come on, that's what there's Jonah 1 and 5.
Huh?
Yeah.
You go right. I mean, like I said, I respect it. I agree. That's when you get in your spirit and you say y'all speak. I ain't second guessing that.
Oh no, I mean, shoot, you can tell people to get the hell on, but shoot, you can't make nobody get the hell on.
Nah, I ain't saying that.
I mean, it's just certain stuff. I say, man, it's certain things, damn, regardless whether somebody is sinner or not, you can take heed to a warning. We can't never get to the point to be like, a sinner can't tell you about righteousness, but they can tell you about other things. You know what I'm saying? And you have to make sure that you keep your ears in tune to catch it when they do.
I agree with that, but I was just looking at it from the standpoint, like anytime Warren comes like that, he always wants to righteous person.
I mean, but that's when he done already reported his sin in the city, and I'm finna wipe that city out. There's a lot of instances where he took stuff out and they didn't get no warning like that. You're just looking at the warnings that's recorded.
Yeah, from his power.
I mean, but then you have to look at where were those warnings recorded at. Outside of Sodom and Gomorrah, they were all in the land. Even with 70 AD, with the destruction of the Romans, you don't have a recorded that there were prophets warning them that Jerusalem was going to be destroyed in 70 AD. You had him telling them aforetime what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, he tell you warning come before destruction, and that can mean a multitude of things depending on what it is. And then you just got to play it by ear. You know what I'm saying? You just got to play it by ear, to be honest with you. So Jonah 1 and 5. Then the mariners were afraid, and every man cried unto his God, and cast forth the wares that were in the ship into the sea to lighten it of them. But Jonah was gone down into the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep. So the shipmaster came and said unto him, what mean you, O sleeper? Arise, call upon your God, if so be that God will think upon us that we perish not. And they said every one to his fellow, come and let us cast lots, that we may know for whose cause this evil is upon us. So they cast lots, and their lot fell upon Jonah. Now, we just looked at that aspect to see that Jonah was in their sleep. Wow, if you know this is a tempest, this is either a storm or it's a hurricane. 9 times out of 10, it's probably just a very, very bad storm. Because that's how homeboys drowned in the Gulf, because they were shrimpers. It was a bad storm, and the ship capsized, and the captain of the ship say, let them niggas die. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making that up. That's literally what happened. You know what I'm saying? What'd you say? Psalm 107?
Yes, sir. What's somewhere in there?
Let me see.
Verse 29, 27.
Yeah, I'll allow it. It's another one. It might be Psalms 89. There's another one to go along with it. Psalms 107 and 27. Say they reel to and fro like a drunken man, and they're at their wits' end. Then they cry unto Yahuwah in their trouble, and he bring them out of their distresses.
He make the storm calm, so the waves thereof are still. Then they are glad because they be quiet. So he bring them into their desired haven. Come over here to Psalm 65, and let me see if it's Psalms 89. Because I think 89 was the one in my mind.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, 65 and 89. You got both.
Let's look at 65 first in numerical order, I suppose. There we go. Psalm 65, and I'll use verse 4. I'll start with 4 first. Peace, Azamain. Baruch the man who you choose and cause to approach unto you. Remember when that man told you in John chapter 6, no man can come unto the Father except he draw. See, one thing that a lot of Israelites look at is this. Are we the chosen people? You could be the chosen people and still not be chosen. That's what he mean when he said all Yasharal is not of Yasharal, but he that is of the promise is counted for the seed. Every Israelite is not chosen. You may be of a chosen bloodline, but that doesn't mean you're chosen. That word is bakar. That man choose who he want to choose. He elect who he want to elect. Just because a person has a high rank as an Israelite amongst a group of other Israelites, and that does not mean God has chosen them. Because notice he say, blessed are those whom he choose to cause to approach unto him. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Oh, shoot. I say 95% of it. I say 95% of Israelites who profess to be Israelites believe that they're going to get in the kingdom simply because they're an Israelite. Because they get taught that all Israel will be saved, so it don't matter what they do. But listen, when he say cause to approach unto him, if you want to know if this man chose you, he will be drawing you to him. Simple and plain. I'm talking about, that's evidence for yourself, not evidence to prove to another person, but for yourself. If you want to know if God chose you, he gonna be drawing you to him. Not necessarily to a congregation, not necessarily to a community, not necessarily to a group of people. He gonna draw you to him. Now, in the process of him drawing you to him, he would have you join the like-minded people who he is also drawing to him. Yes.
Is it like each person you come in contact with, like, say you got a relative or a friend that see your righteousness, they can see, okay, I know that your life is like this. They don't do it. Is that always for the damnation?
I mean, everything is for your salvation or damnation. At the end of the day.
But coming in contact with you and seeing that righteousness and not turning.
I mean, shoot, coming in contact with you ain't nothing but gonna be a witness against them on Judgment Day. Everything gonna be look here, man. Everything either gonna be a witness for your damnation or it's gonna be a witness for your salvation. That's why he says, as we read last night, he's gonna judge every man according to his works. You would have had your opportunity. Everybody has their opportunity. What they do with it is on them. It says something that you can't get away. Yeah, if he set you to be chosen, ain't nothing you can do. Because you're gonna keep coming unto him. Like what you seen Jonah do. Jonah tried to run. That's what a lot of people say. I've been running for God all my life. I can't run from this calling. But it's always a calling that's something that exalts you. It's never just you humbling yourself and serving God. And it always has to be something that puts you in the limelight, if you would. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean he chose you. I ain't gonna say that. He could have chose you, but not for your good. When he draw you to him, when he choose you, he causes you to end up knowing who he is. That's how you know when he choosing you. If your mind is set on, I must know God. What is it to know him? I'm looking after him. I'm seeking for him. That's him drawing you to him. See, who don't chase, he attracts. You know what I'm saying? As a man, that's how you should live your life. You should never chase. You should attract. You should make yourself the type of individual that people want to come around, not the type that you have to convince people to come around you. See, matter of fact, because I didn't get to hear all the conversation, but Emma asked a good question earlier, right? So check it. Jewish people don't proselytize. You know what that means? That means they don't preach the word to other people. They don't do that. Now, that's odd considering that Shalom, Brother Ernest. You can see in the text that they ministered to each other and preached to each other all the time before the New Testament. But that's neither here nor there. So the question was, should Israelites gatekeep the word and not proselytize and keep it to themselves? But we know from the parable of the talent that that's not so. That you're supposed to go out there and flip that. But the difference is you don't chase people or force people or browbeat people to get down with what you got going on. You present it and you let the word do the rest. See, a lot of Israelites feel like you got to come out here and condemn these people and chastise these people and ridicule these people until they repent. We don't do that. He said, hatred stir up strife, love cover all sins. He that cover a transgression seek of love. So there's a technical skill that go about preaching the gospel to every creature. You know what I'm saying? You just let that word be known, and if they're chosen, they will come to it. You don't have to chase them down. They will come to it. If you have to chase them down, it's not for them. What did we read the other day in John 10? He said, my sheep hear my voice, and they what? That means he attracted you to him. He drew you to him. He said, I'm going to draw you with what? Loving kindness. He's going to draw you to him. You're going to be attracted to what he has to offer. He don't got to chase you. Well, I thought he said he seek after the lost sheep. He puts himself out there so those that are destroyed might be made whole. But he's not going to chase you. That's right, Ozzy. You definitely can't bully people to believe. You can't do nothing but put it out there and let it be what it be. A lot of people have a hard time doing that. He said, how do you know if you're drawn? I mean, you would know because he gonna speak to you. We talked about this the other day. He's speaking to your inward man. See, a lot of times he be drawing y'all, but y'all hard-headed because you're making excuses to not go. You're trying to come up with a reason. Stop trying to figure out why he drawing you. Does it matter? Nigga, don't nobody supposed to be saved. So stop trying to do all that. That's the other stuff. That's the adversary. That's your own stuff. You got to put that stuff to the side, man. If the word done touched your inward man, nigga, you need to get up and go. Before he stop touching your inward man and let you stay where you at. And I know that because we can talk about this the other day. He said, my sheep hear my voice and they follow me. If you hear the words, you got to get up and go. Don't worry about why. Don't worry about where. He told Abraham, go to the place where I told you to go. Abraham didn't say where I'm going, why I'm going. He just got up and left. Don't worry about I'm not worthy, why he choosing me. Does it matter why he choosing you? Be thankful that he chose you. You know why? Because it's a lot of people he ain't choosing. Hey. Don't come over here with that. Don't come over here with that. You want to play too much. Psalm 65 and 4. And I didn't say that to be hard said. I didn't say that because somebody else might need to hear that. You just need to go. When that high call and go out, you need to go. You just need to go. He'll figure out the rest. Because you're going to know how you know he ain't going to. See, he don't draw you to damn you. Because he's just not going to draw you. He don't need to draw you to him to damn you. He's just not going to draw you. He ain't going to let you approach to him. Because if he's trying to damn you, why would he let you approach to him if it's my objective to damn you? I don't need you to come near to me for me to damn you. I can let you stay right there where you're at. He causing you to approach so you might be saved. So you got to come on. You got to come on. Got to get up and go. Now, I know that's easier said than done for most people. But you got to get up and go. Psalm 65 and 4. Baruch is the man whom you choose and cause to approach unto you, that he may dwell in your courts. This is why he's drawing you to him. He wants you to live with him. That he may dwell in your courts, and we shall be satisfied with the goodness of your house, even your Kadash temple. Terrible things and righteousness will you answer us, O Elohim of our salvation, who are the confidence of all the ends of the earth and of them that are far upon the sea, which by his strength set fast the mountains, being girded with power, which still the noise of the sea, the noise of their waves and the torment of the people. Notice he say he steal the way. Because remember, they say, what manner of man is this that the winds obey him? Well, you know it ain't but one man got enough strength to make the wind obey him. That's God. You ain't got a single prophet in this book who told any of the elements to obey him, and they did. Joshua didn't make the sun stand still. He asked you, who would do that? He tell you in Jeremiah, he said, the waves crash against the sand and never overtake it because they obey my command. That's how we know that he in that whirlwind, and when that storm surge comes, that's who will tell it, go on past it. Because when you go out there to that beach, them waves don't never come past that sand. You see that water come in, what it do? It go back out. But as we read in Nahum, when he said he in that whirlwind, and this is wrath, that water go past that sand. Because I'm finna drown me a nigga today. You know what I'm talking about? And there's a lot of dead sinners gonna be around here, and that just is what it is. And I say that just the same way when he make the earthquake. You ever seen a fire tornado? That's a sight to behold. You ever seen one? That's a sight to behold. Huh?
This is a beautiful scene. Not the beginning.
Yeah, I don't. Joey, stop. Come over here to Psalms 89. Who over there doing all that crying? You over there doing all that crying? Fat baby over there crying. Go sit with her. Go be her friend. Go give her a hug. Go give Maya a hug. She need a hug. She said no. Come on back over here. Psalms 89 and 8. You can make it 6. Shoot. 5 even better. He said, was the flood supposed to be symbolic of the word in Deuteronomy 32? You talking about the flood in Genesis 6? Oh no. Oh no. That flood in Genesis 6 was simply to take out the wicked. Showing you that Yahuwah was the safety for those who believe. You know what I'm saying? You was always the safety for his saints, and he always gonna give you a way out, and he always gonna give deliverance. He'll never let you get caught with them people. He'll never let you get caught with them people. Oh, excuse me. Psalms 89 and 5. And the heavens shall praise your wonders, O Yahuwah, your faithfulness in the congregation of the saints. For who in heaven can be compared unto Yahuwah? Who among the sons of the mighty can be likened unto Yahuwah? God is greatly to be feared in the assembly of the saints, and to be had in reverence of all them that are about him. O Yahuwah Elohim of hosts, who is strong like unto Yahuwah, or to your faithfulness round about you? You rule the raging of the sea, and when the waves thereof arise, you still them. So let's go to Matthew, back to Matthew 8. Remember, Moses said the same thing with the Red Sea. He told the people, be still, and he stilled the waters, and the water stood still. But again, I know that's a hard thing to believe because you didn't see it. And I understand, I get it. I get around there eventually. So Matthew 8 and 25. And his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he said unto them, why you are fearful, O you of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. But the men marveled, saying, what manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? Now you have to look at it from their standing point. Now we went through all that because that's a testimony of the Son of God. So when you see Jonah in the ship sleep, the people on the ship nervous. Now, so I know some people be like, oh, they just copied that out. Man, they ain't copied that out because most of these Hebrews don't even point that out. Most of these Christians don't even point that out. But it's showing you that he had power over the heavens and the earth because that's where the rain and the wind come from. Because this is the authority his father gave him. See, this is very difficult for some people to understand because they don't understand what it means to give authority to your son because most niggas don't give nothing to their son. They don't give nothing to their son but hard times, and I'm going out for cigarettes. And he don't never come back. Nevertheless, let's come back over here to this well, because I know I said I want to do that, so let me do that. We are an hour in. Come over here to Isaiah 12 and 3. But also, why did I mention that also? Because let me leave this point on here too. Because Paul was caught up in a tempest in the sea also. And do y'all remember what they did while he was in that tempest of the sea? Do you know what they did on that boat that Paul was on? They started throwing stuff overboard. Now, we've talked about this passage before. It's just been a while. And what does Hebrews 12 tell you to do? Cast aside the sin and the weight that is stopping you. So sometimes you have to sit back and look at this story of this ship and the winds that are raging, and you see that as the things that can happen in life that are raging, and that Yahushua can tell those things to peace be still. But sometimes you might have to throw the things that are holding you back overboard. Whatever those things may be. Could be anxiety, could be doubt, could be unbelief, could be a particular lust, could be whatever. You got to toss it out because it's stopping you. It's overloading your vessel, and it's gonna take you under. He said, just like the Pharisees got upset when he says your sins. Yeah, they said, who can forgive sins but God? See, it's elements like that when people be like, Jesus ain't God, and he's showing you, and it's all because his Father gave him this authority. You know what I'm saying? It's not, and that's really all it is. But I also understand that most people don't hold the stance that Yahusha is Yahuwah, and that his Father, you never seen him, you ain't never dealt with him, you ain't never heard his voice, you ain't never seen his shape, because his Father is too Kadash, just and upright for us to come in his presence. So I can understand why people would see it that way. See, I notice now that saying that Yahusha and Yahuwah is the same thing. That's both, but we always been on that because it was just apparent because of the testimony, not because of some doctrine. That's what the testimony of the Son of God is pointing us to. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. Hey, some people gonna see it. Some people feel the need to argue that point. But some people get on this particular app and say, if you don't believe Jesus God, you going to hell. See, I ain't got time for all that. Because most of the people who say that, they don't even understand why they believe in God. They just say it. To be honest, they just say it. We're looking at the inner workings of the authority that God has given him. Because he'll be as God, but he has a God who is greater than him. But you don't know him. And it's our arrogance to think that we know him. You know what I'm saying? But I always used to tell you that, man. A king don't get off his throne. That's what he got servants for. Why would the king get off his throne? If the Father is the most high, magnificent ruler and continent of all creation, if you would. So he's created. He is not created, but you understand what I'm talking about. If he wanted to create something, I just have somebody else do it. I ain't got to do it. I got all the power. I get the power and you do what I tell you to do. And what Yahuwah did with Moses, Yahuwah had all the power. He gave the pattern to Moses. Do it how I told you to do it. It's not that hard. But you know where that come from? A lot of men not being raised with strong men. So they don't understand what that look like. You know what I'm saying? When you're raised by a strong man, and I say this sincerely, when you're raised with strong men, your outlook on Yahuwah is drastically different than somebody who wasn't. Because you'll see the elements of that strong man who raised you when you see the operation of Yahuwah, and you can understand how he operates. Because you'll be like, my daddy used to do stuff like that. My granddaddy used to do stuff like that. If you were blessed enough, my great granddaddy used to do stuff like that. Or my uncle do stuff like that. You see the elements of their masculinity in him because that is who Yahuwah is and how he operates. You know what I'm talking about? So if you know that, his Father operates that way. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. 12 and 3, book of Isaiah. Therefore, with joy shall you draw out waters out of the wells of salvation. Now, we talked about it, I already set the stage for this other day, but I didn't get it. Let's go to Genesis 24, and I'm going to try to find one of these protocols before I read Genesis 24. See, one thing I can say, because I just seen this dude who just popped in here, and you know, he usually be in spaces where people be fighting, fussing, and arguing. One thing I can say, man, is that when you stay in spaces where you just trying to get some understanding, exchange ideas with each other, learn something, the people who not on that type of time, you ain't never got to deal with them because they ain't gonna stick around too long. Because they want to fight. And it's a blessed thing to get out of them spaces. You don't want to be in them spaces. Not too long anyway. It's aggravating. Joanne, stop it. All right, so I'm going to find the protocol that I want. That I've been wanting to read for the last. I wanted to read it yesterday. I didn't do it. My voice better, so I can find it. So praise the Lord for that. Okay, I'm in protocol. I want to make sure I get the right one specifically that I want. Which protocol is this? This is protocol. Sit down and be quiet. This is protocol 3. I'm gonna pick up this paragraph. If you have that book on hand, I'm on page 276. I'm on page 276 of Behold a Pale Horse. I'm in the Elders of the Protocols of Zion. I'm in protocol 3 on page 276. I'm picking it up in the third paragraph on page 276. Third paragraph on page 276. One day, Emma, I might have to show you. This is before everybody came around here. When it started being too many people, I couldn't do it no more. But Nell and Muffin can tell you about it. But I used to draw up like college level syllabuses for them. So like whatever it was that I was finna go over, it was already detailed, lined out point by point, each minute detail, so they could follow along. But now it's too many people to do that because I was handwriting it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any computer of any type, much less a printer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't have no money to be copying nothing. I don't have time to hand. You know how long that takes? Man, this nigga here, man. We ain't got time for this, man. Yeah, and I used to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's when I wrote the stuff down before I dropped it. I ain't wrote nothing sound to preach since 2012. So we talking about 2010 and 11, early 2012. Because I can remember that. I can remember when it came to my mind, start writing it down. Like, I'll give you the pack, you ain't got to write it down. Because I like to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Like to come prepared. Just because I had stuff written down don't mean I just had to stick rigidly to this particular script. You know what I'm saying? There was always ad-libs and add-ons and things of that nature. But I wanted to make sure that they could follow along. You know what I'm saying? So I did that. Like, yeah, if I had more capabilities and time, I'd probably do it again. Because that's not for me, that's for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I can understand that, Emma. That writing is something else. Okay, I heard. I'm on protocol 3, Emma. I'm on protocol 3. I'm on page 276, third paragraph. Babblers inexhaustible have turned into oratorical contests. The sittings of parliament and administrative boards, board journalists and unscrupulous pamphleteers daily fall upon executive officials. Abuses of power that will put the final touch in the preparing of all institutions for their overthrow. Everything will fly skyward under the blows of the maddened mob. All people are chained down to heavy toil by poverty, more firmly than ever when they chained by slavery and serfdom. Listen, these people say they got you chained down by poverty more than, do you know what serfdom is? Do you remember that? Y'all remember what serfs are? You know, serfs came from the middle class. You have feudal lords. So what you had is a serf was basically an indentured servant. Somebody would own some land, and then you would be indebted to the feudal lord, and you would work on that land until you paid off your debt, which you would eventually never pay off. Which in reality, that the modern form of serfdom, for as harsh as it might sound, is a mortgage. Yeah, it is a mortgage. You know what I'm saying? That's how they turned around and did it, because the bank is the feudal lord. You know what I'm saying? So now that doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy a home or that it's not good to buy a home. We're just talking about the same concept, just executed differently. Because then you turn around and you're in labor to the feudal lord, which is the bank. The only difference between that time period is you could sell the home and make a profit if you so chose. So you couldn't sell whatever home or property and that particular time because you didn't have the ability to sell it. That's why it's different. That's why I say it's not bad. I'm just giving you a comparison of how they do the same things in different times, just with adjustments here and there. Because by no means am I trying to ridicule or dissuade anyone from buying a home. If it fits your financial plan and vision for you to buy a home, then buy one. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's all I got to say about that. Don't let nobody else tell you what you should or shouldn't do. It needs to fit whatever your financial vision and plan is. If your financial vision and plan for your family says it would be best for us to rent because we want to do 1, 2, and 3, and this works better for us, then that's what you do. If your financial plan says it works better for us to buy a home because we want to do this, this, and this, then you buy a home. It's just that simple. Now, I'll tell you the biggest lie they tell you is that owning a home is the beginning of generational wealth. That's a bold-faced lie. Because ain't no wealth getting generated from owning a home. Owning a home is a liability. It's not an asset because you don't draw money out of it month to month, quarterly, or year to year. Assets push money out, not take money in. That's just simple. And anybody who's in finance for real will tell you that. Niggas on the internet will tell you that's generational wealth. But how many millionaires you know became a millionaire because their mama left them a house or their daddy left them a house? Now, if their daddy left them some rental properties, then your daddy left you some wealth. You know what I'm talking about? If your daddy owned some multi-family properties and he left you that, your daddy left you some wealth because those are assets. They were making money, of course, not because they look at it with the equity in the house, but those repairs, you can't get that money back. That mortgage, you only gonna get that money back when you sell it. You know what I'm saying? You got your interest payments, and even when you sell it, you still got to pay capital gains tax. It may not be as high as a tax if it was an investor sale, but you still have to pay that. So that's not you're not coming out of that $3-4 million richer. You're not. And that's just, and again, that's not you buy a home because you want to own a home. You don't buy a home as a vehicle for wealth unless you're going to take out a home equity loan and then take that money and then buy a property to flip that home or rent it out. That's the only way that's going to work. Other than that, the people lying to you. They tell you that so you can go get a mortgage. Because guess what? How many people y'all know own a home? And how many of them wealthy because they bought it? She said, not me. Yeah, you gotta, because if you go look at the people who wealthy in real estate, they didn't get wealthy in real estate because they own their own personal home. Look at man, Gonzo was grinding in real estate for 3-4 years before he bought his house. Them boys were roommating. When they come up. That man only went and bought a house when he was finna marry his wife and they were finna have a baby. That's when he went and bought his house. But when he was single, well, he wasn't single the whole time, but when he was unmarried, Man, them boys were living in the same house together, man. Get to it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how that goes, man. I'm gonna tell you because what I'm talking about is social engineering. Like I just had a conversation with a lady. She was like, men want traditional women, but if you want a traditional woman, you got to pay all the bills. And I'm like, she was talking about women never work. I said, in what society? Because what it is, June the Cleaver from Leave It to Beaver? That's not the reality of everybody in human history. Because it said that the virtuous woman, she worked willingly with her what? With her hands. I say, man, human society was agricultural. Everybody worked. The mama worked, the daddy worked, the kids worked. You can't look at it from the standpoint of Western society clocking in on a job. You know what I'm saying? Like that's insane. That's insane. See, we're not talking about women working and then you want her money so she can pay all the bills. But just the thought process that women never work is insane. That's insane. You know what I'm saying? Because a stay-at-home mom is I told you this. Research it. Look it up for yourself. That's a new thing in the earth. That's a new thing in the earth. The Asian cultures didn't do that. And again, when we talk about labor, it was labor usually to benefit the tribe or her particular family. The same way that the labor that the man did was to benefit his tribe or his particular family. It wasn't a capitalistic system of commerce like you have in the West. You know what I'm saying? See, we think everything starts in the West. This capitalistic system of commerce is not how the whole world has been operating since Adam was born from the dust of the ground. So when a woman say, oh, I'm a traditional woman, in what regard? What does that mean? You're really referring to traditional as far as Western ideals are concerned. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if you say you're traditional, I need to know what tradition are you talking about? Is it Far East tradition? Is it African tradition? And if it's African tradition, what tribe in Africa? If it's Israelite tradition, what tribe in Israel? If it's East Asian tradition, well, what race of people is it? Because each people have their own tradition and their own culture and their own way of doing things. You know what I'm saying? You got to read more. You got to study history more. And when I say this, meaning study how people live. Everybody didn't live the same. The Israelites did not live like the people around them. They didn't. Do you recall what Laban said when he tricked Jacob with Leah? What did he say? It's not the custom to give the oldest daughter before the youngest. Does that mean that was the tradition among every group of people? It was a tradition for them Syrians, though, where Laban was at. That was their custom. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's custom's not the same. But when you look at right, you know you can believe the Bible and still study other people's cultures and customs, and that shouldn't affect your belief in the word. You do know that, right? You have to have a understanding of the worldview, and then you can understand why the people who were amongst Israel did the things that they did. See, Israel was enamored with the way those people lived and their customs and cultures because they were different from yours. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of Israelites ended up coming back in the land and bringing back the cultures and customs from them other people and interloping it into their worship with Yahuwah. And that's part of the reason why he bust them upside their head. Because now you done took the profane and mixed it with the Kadash. And he wasn't with that. What I was finna read? I'm in Genesis 24. We'll say Tavon say, I've always respected Japanese culture because of their system of belief. Say they fought the word, so it's always been that. Oh, that's right. I was reading that protocol. Yeah, most people. I would say, shalom, Sister Kelly. I would say that most people don't know any world history. I would say most people don't know any American history. Let me just say that. I would say that most people don't know any American history past 1960. Dead serious, too. I would say most people don't know any American history whatsoever. Because if they knew American history and they knew about the times on the frontier when they say white women didn't work, them white women were working. When they were frontiersmen, them white women was working. If they knew anything about them 13 colonies when they was established, them white women was working. You know what I'm saying? If they knew about Manifest Destiny, if they knew about the gold rush in California, them white women was working. They were working. You know what I'm talking about? Me from the internet, most people in college don't know what century we're in. My God, today. And I'm not saying that to advocate that women just supposed to be working so hard and they just that they're in the third. I'm talking about the misapplication of human history. There has never been a time in human history where women just laid up with their feet up doing nothing. Everybody worked. It was necessary for survival. Now, when you go to talk about a corporate structure and jobs in America, no, most women didn't work. When you talk about a period in America, most women were not allowed to have a bank account until a certain period of time. That is accurate. Most women weren't allowed to do a lot of things in America without their husband co-signing on that. But that's American history. That don't mean that was worldwide. Let me finish this protocol. And I'm saying all this to talk about the social engineering. Because this woman told me she said it doesn't matter what they did in times past. We in a new time, we modern now. I said, baby, how can you ask a man to be traditional, but in the same breath say it's a modern time? You can't do that. I say, baby, that's like asking for a godly man and you an ungodly woman. You asking for something that you're not even. That's like an intellectual. That's like a stupid person saying they want an intellectual. You can't want an intellectual and you stupid. And I'm not talking about on no equally yoked type of time. You're asking for something that you're not. But you feel like you should have it because you want it. I'm like, that's not how that works, baby. Shalom, Brother Shaul. That's not how that works. It's not how any of that works. But that's what they say. When they say a traditional woman in America, they talk about Leave It to Beaver. But guess what? Every white woman during the time that Leave It to Beaver on TV wasn't no housewife. I know we like to think white people just had it great. And they all had money and was living well off the hog. Man, most white people been poor. All the white women wasn't housewives. She went to work too. I'm in Protocol 3, page 276, paragraph 4. Well, paragraph 3. Blabblers inexhaustibly have turned into oratorical contests, the sittings of parliament and administrative boards. Bold journalists and unscrupulous pamphleteers daily fall upon executive officials. Abuses of power will put the final touch in preparing all institutions for their overthrow. Everything will fly skyward under the blows of the maddened mob. All people are chained down to heavy toil by poverty. More firmly than ever, they were chained by slavery and serfdom. From these, one way or another, they might free themselves. These could be settled with. But from what they will never get away. We have included in the Constitution such rights as to the masses appear fictitious and not actual rights. Boy, you always showing out, boy. You always showing out. All these so-called people rights can only exist in idea, and the ideal which can never be realized in practical life. What is it to the proletariat laborer, bowed double over his heavy toil, crushed by his lot in life. If the talkers get the right to babble, if journalists get the right to scribble any nonsense side by side with good stuff, once the proletariat has no other profit out of the Constitution, save only these pitiful crumbs which we fling them from our table in return for their voting in favor of what we dictate, in favor of men we place in power, the servants of our agentur. Republican rights for a poor man are no more than a bitter piece of irony. For the necessity he is under of toiling almost all day gives him no present use of them, but on the other hand, robs him of all guarantee of regular and certain earnings by making him dependent on strikes by his comrades or lockouts by his masters. If you know what a lockout is, it happened in the NBA a couple times. Y'all remember the lockout of 2011? You know what a lockout is? You know what a lockout is? Who don't know what a lockout is? A lockout is when the owners say, I'm not allowing you to come to work until we resolve whatever contractual obligations we need to come to. See, a strike is when the workers walk out. A lockout is when the owners refuse to allow you to work. Usually in a lockout, that's right, when the Spurs beat the Knicks in 99, and you had a lockout in 2011 when the Heat beat the Mavs. That was a lockout season.
It was like on Coach Carter. He was like in that gym. He said, "I ain't gonna play till I get y'all credit."
That's a lockout. But see, when they do that, they believe they have greater leverage to make the workers capitulate to their demands. What this protocol is basically telling you is that the people will always be poor. So what they did on the social engineering tip at this day and time is they gave you Instagram and individuals to make you believe that everyone can live a certain type of lifestyle when people really have nothing. Because in general, most people, they tell you that the average American does not have $1,000 in their savings account. Now, there are 300 plus million people in this country. So you know what that tells you? The mass majority of Americans are poor. But because they have tricked you into believing it into being a consumerist and believing that about, just like we read the other day, don't get caught up in covetous. A man's life don't exist in abundance. And this is why you have these conversations when they say a man should make X amount of money and pay for everything. That's social engineering. You bought it, baby. You've been had. Because that same person who would say they want a traditional man, that man could go work a factory job and pay all the bills and you didn't have to work. Them days gone. And they're not coming back. They're not coming back. Because they don't want them to come back. Could those days exist if they wanted them to? Of course they could. But it doesn't benefit them for that to be here. They literally telling you they want you to eat off the crumbs from your master's table. But see, you feel like the Canaanite woman to the Lord. He said it's not fit to give the children's bread to dogs. He said even the dogs eat crumbs from the master's table. You feel like the Canaanite woman. You happy with the crumbs. Well, guess what? He's not the Lord. So why you happy with crumbs from a man who got to stand before God himself? And that's why he told you don't envy your oppressor and choose none of his ways. Don't follow his violent deeds of injustice. That's right, Ozzy. That's a long time ago. He said those were my granddaddy's days. Them days gone. Them days gone. They're not coming back. Unfortunately, a lot of these dudes say this on the internet, and it's accurate, unfortunately, in the reality in America. A man has to work about 10 to 15 times harder to get less from the women that his granddaddy got from his grandma. Because he ain't getting the same caliber of woman from 1950, 60. He's not the same caliber of women. But you got to do more to get less. I'm saying that because the social engineer, remember what we read in the Frankfurt school? That they wanted to cause gender wars? That they wanted to make the men the aggressors and the women the victim? It has worked to perfection. It's work to perfection. Because now the women feel like I have to give less while the man still has to give the same level of output or greater than the men who came before him. This is the society that they have manipulated. You have to understand that and peep the game. Men aforetime got a virgin. Now you're not getting that. A woman aforetime got a man raised from a family of a good stock. Now you're not getting that. You know what I'm saying? You get a dude who been in the streets doing God knows what. And she getting a man who done been with a multitude of women. She getting a man who might have had sex with a junkie, tricked with a stripper. Your great grandma didn't want to get no man like that. She might get a man who want to lay on the couch, fart and playing Madden all day long. Your great grandma got a man who was gonna get up and go. You're not getting the same caliber of people. The only difference is that, and this is on the men's side, what men require from a woman has dropped. The woman has not dropped what she requires from a man. And you can't be mad at her because she ain't dropped it. So, okay, be mad at yourself. You know what I'm talking about? Be mad at yourself. Don't be mad at her. Let's continue. The people, this is second paragraph, page 277. The people under our guidance have annihilated the aristocracy, who were their one only defense and foster mother for the sake of their own advantage, with inseparably bound up with the well-being of the people. Nowadays, the destruction of the aristocracy, the people have fallen into the grips of merciless, money-grinding scoundrels who have laid a pitiless and cruel yoke upon the neck of the workers. We appear on the scene as alleged saviors of the worker from this oppression. When we propose to him to enter the ranks of our fighting forces, socialists, anarchists, communists, to whom we always give support in accordance with an alleged brotherly rule of the solidarity of all humanity of our social masonry. This is how you know that this is not a Jewish document, because they mention masonry several times in this document. This is a Masonic document. You know what I'm talking about? And notice how they say we give you anarchists, we give you socialists, we give you communists, because we created the situation and circumstance of the situation where you would want this alternative point of view, because we controlling both of them. See, when we were talking to the Jewish dude and we mentioned Henry Ford, and I asked him, I said, what does it matter if Henry Ford funded both sides of World War II? He funded Hitler and America. He didn't have a response to that, because you want me to believe in Jewish oppression when we're telling you these people oppressing everybody. They oppressing everybody. They using everybody because they don't care about you. They care about what they're trying to perform. Because I think this is the protocol that mentioned where they're going to want you to stop believing in God. I might have to drop down some more because this protocol long. Because that's the one I'm looking for. Let me go back to where I was at. So he says, right, the aristocracy which have enjoyed the law of labor workers were interested in seeing that the workers were well-fed, healthy, and strong. We are interested in the opposite, in the diminution, the killing out of the goyim. Our power is in the chronic shortness of food and physical weakness of the worker, because by all that, this implies he is made the slave of our will. He will not find in his own authority either strength or energy to set against our will. Hunger creates the right of the capital to rule the worker more surely than it was given to the aristocracy by legal authority of kings. By want and envy and hatred which it engenders, we shall move the mobs with their hands. We shall wipe out all those who hinder us on our way. And when the hour strikes for our sovereign Lord, now you know who their sovereign Lord is? That's Satan. When the hour strikes for our sovereign Lord of all the world to be crowned, it is in the same hands which will sweep away everything that might be a hindrance thereto. The Goyim have lost the habit of thinking unless prompted by the suggestions of our specialists. Therefore, they do not see the urgent necessity of what we, when our kingdom comes, shall adopt at once. Now, I want you to think about what we were discussing when we were talking about Esau ruling. See, this is how Satan gonna get in power. Because they're gonna say the world gonna be out of whack and he gonna come and bring this peace, but they the ones who created the confusion to begin with. Yeah, it is, Brother Ernest. It's inside Behold a Pale Horse. You text my phone, I send it to you. Just text my phone, I'll send it to you. Now, I'm mentioning this because you can see the social engineering that they, and the underlying theme that they moving to get you to worship the devil and to get you to willingly worship the devil. So this is why you have to be willingly to draw the wells out of the water of salvation now. So let's go to Genesis 24. Genesis 24, verse 13. You can make it 12. All right, you can bring him here if you want. Now, Jamal, you ain't finna act no fool with your boy.
Daddy, Baba.
Yes.
Hobby day.
That's hobby day?
No, it's the going.
Come on, boy. No, you can't have that. You finished? Genesis 24 and 12. Yes, sir. And he said, "O you Elohim of my master Abraham, I pray send me good speed this day, and show kindness unto my master Abraham. Behold, I stand by the well of water, and the daughters of the men of the city come to draw water. And it shall come to pass that the damsel whom I shall say, let down the pitcher, I pray you, that I may drink, she shall say, drink, and I will give camels drink also. Let the same she that you have appointed for your servant Isaac, and thereby I shall know that you have shown kindness to my master." It came to pass that, hey. And it came to pass before he's done speaking that, behold, Rebekah come out, who was born to Bethuel, the son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. The damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin. Neither had any man known her. And she went down to the well and filled her pitcher and came up. The servant ran to meet her and said, "Let me, I pray you, drink a little water out of your pitcher." And she said, "Drink, my lord." And she hasted and let down her pitcher upon her hand and gave him drink. Now, why is this important? John chapter 4. Go throw it away. Yes, sir. I got you. John chapter 4. If I can get around there. Dwayne Jamal. What you say? Mm-hmm. John 4 and 1. Take this. Enjoy it. Like it. Be quiet, please. When therefore the Lord knew how the Pharisees had heard that Yahushua had made and baptized more disciples than John, though Yahushua himself baptized not, but his disciples, he left Yehuda and departed into Galilee. And he must needs go through Samaria. Then he come to a city of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near the parcel of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. And there was a well there, and Yahushua, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well, and it was about the 6th hour. There come a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yahushua said unto her, give me to drink. Now you see, he doing the same thing that that servant of Abraham did, correct? Now there's a difference. It lets you know that Rebecca was what? This woman here is not. Now there's a reason for that. Why there's a dichotomy, there what is a difference. And it's not for the belittling of the other woman. It's to show the difference. Because the difference is, what did Rebecca do with the water? She drew the water for the servant, but this woman did not. Could you stop, please? Are you finished? Are you done? Are you done? Are you not done? How about that? All right. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then say the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it you being a Yahudim ask drink of me, which a woman of Samaria, for the Yahudim have no dealings with the Samaritans. He say, yeah, he trying to do something. Yahushua answered and said unto him, if you knew the gift of Elohim and who it is that say to you, give me to drink, you would have asked of him and he would have given you living water. Now, you know the difference is, Rebecca didn't know, listen, now it wasn't Isaac who did it, but what is the importance of Isaac? He's the promised seed. So because she gave this man drink, she ended up being married to this man, and she brought forth Jacob, who brought forth Israel, and she became a partaker of the covenant of that same living water. This is the difference. It's not about trying to castigate these particular women. Now, while the woman in Samaria is about to say a few things, why were the disciples telling him to tell her to go away? Why was that the case? Why did this woman believe that she was a part of the covenant of Jacob? Why is that the case? He said he got you right now. He said, John, if you get it wrong, you got to give him 25 push-ups, man. Okay, so you go first. So that means if you get it right, he do the 50. But if you get it wrong, you do 25. So why did this Samaritan woman believe that she was a part of the covenant?
They had got taught. They had to get taught. So where they use
Why? What is that?
the lines.
You're leaving out a lot.
You said the lion.
You're leaving out a lot. That's kind of vague. That's kind of vague, brother. I don't know if we can accept that answer. Jamal said we can't accept that answer. It's too vague.
Why did the lion do that?
How did they get in the land? Oh, he hit you with the shoot. He don't know. He don't know.
But now the ones that got kicked out, it was a vacant spot.
But how did they get in the land? Oh, boy. I ain't going to say you got to do 25, but boy, you're going to have to do 15, boy.
Yeah, I say 15.
That's an incomplete answer.
They came into the land. They weren't doing it properly.
I mean, oh, that's correct, but I need 15, cuz. 2 Kings 17, I need 15. Oh, we need them right now. Now you lying on my God, son. He good woke. I'm looking at it. I need them 15, cuz. No, you finished it. Well, that sounds like a lie you told somebody in the youth. I ain't finished yet. I got more. She disappointed. Second Kings chapter 17, verse 24. Do my all. Yeah. Indeed, sir. 2 Samuel 17 and 24. The king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, from Kutha, from Ava, from Hamath, from Seraphim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the sons of Yasharal, and they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. And so it was the beginning of the dwelling there that they feared not Yahuwah. Therefore Yahuwah sent lions among them, which slew them. See, that part accurate, but you left out the key part. That's why you got to do 15. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which you have removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of the God of the land. Therefore he sent lions among them, and behold, they slay them, because they know not the manner of the God of the land. We'll go back to your mama there. Don said you can't go over there because she occupying that space. Then the king of Assyria commanded, carry thither one of the priests whom you brought from thence, and let them go dwell thence, and let them teach the manner of God of the land. So this is why the Sumerian woman is going to say, oh, are you greater than our father Jacob? Because you got to understand how time works. If you get taught this generation to generation, they pass it down. They think they these people. But you're not these people. You were placed there when Israel or the 10 tribes got put out. John 4. Verse 11. The woman said to him, sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence have you that living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us the well and drank thereof himself and his children and his cattle? Yahushua answered and said unto her, whosoever drink of the water of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drink of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up to everlasting life. Now, where do you find that in the law? A well of water springing up to everlasting life to dig in. Because this in the law.
Is that in Genesis 21?
It is not. Tomorrow. Anybody?
Is it Exodus?
Come on, Numbers 21, because we had almost 2 hours. We got to get off here. Numbers 21 and 10. Or 21 and 17. Then Yasharal sang this song, spring up, O well, sing you unto it. Hold on, y'all. Jamal. Jamal.
Hey, you Abraham did up that well? This is my toast. You gave him 7 lamb? That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, that's something. That would be the verse before that. We just didn't focus on that. We're talking about when she said you don't have nothing to draw.
Okay.
So how do we draw from the well is what I'm focusing. But yeah, because then you got Genesis 30 when he watered. We ain't going in that direction. You know what I'm saying? Because Emma Sharona just said the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's different. And we want to talk about the well, opening the well to water the sheep. Then, of course, we'll go to Exodus with Moses, which, of course, how many women were there? Y'all remember how many? 7, which is the 7 assemblies also. Then we go to that one in Genesis that y'all mentioning, because that would be Zechariah with that fountain. You know what I'm saying? But with this well, we focusing on her statement of you don't have nothing to draw with. And remember, we read in Isaiah 12 and 3, to draw from the well of salvation. So how do we draw from this well to get this water? Because remember, it said the mouth of the righteous, the words of the righteous are as a well of living water. So then Yasharal sang this song. Spring up, O well, sing you one to it. Remember, if they singing a song, what is this song? What does that mean?
Come on, Johnny. Redeem yourself, Johnny.
Come on, you can wipe out your 15 push-ups if you tell me what it means when they say they sing a song. We ain't playing about the 15 push-ups. Because he would have gave you his 50.
No,
It's a what?
number.
Based off of what?
Uh-oh.
Other songs into the book.
You leaving something out? I don't know, boy. You might owe me 5. I ain't being funny. I need specifics. I don't need generalities. If it's a prophecy because it's a song, why?
Because other songs in the text is prophetic.
That's not the correct answer, sir. You know the correct answer.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Because it's a parable. You extinguished it. I told y'all, man. I told you for years you have to be laser specific. Generalities won't do it. Generalities will not instruct your son. Generalities will not properly explain to a non-believer why it is that you hold the hope that you hold. We can't be general. We have to be precise. We have to leave no stone unturned. We have to be direct and straightforward when we disseminate information. Now, that's one thing if you can't recall it. That's different. What I'm saying is that that's the difference. See, if I was to draw up all that stuff and I ask questions, then the questions have to be 100% direct and specific, or I wouldn't accept it. You know what I'm saying? See, I couldn't be nobody's teacher or professor or none of that there because I would not accept less than what the standard is. You're not giving me no roundabout answer. Now, you don't have to show me how you got there like in math because I don't care how you got there. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you went round the corner, straight down the road, cut through a nigga yard. I don't care how you got there. I'm only concerned with that you got it. Now, see, she different. She said she want them to show their work. And I can understand why, because I mean, you could have cheated. I don't care if you cheated. That's not my business. I didn't catch it. Not my business. I know in math you do that because I want to see if you understand the function of what you're doing. Me personally, I don't care how you got there. I just need you to arrive there. I need you to be very specific and detailed. You know why? Because I'm very specific and detailed. So I can't accept nothing other than that. Now, if I wasn't specific and detailed, it'd be different. But I'm specific and detailed. That's why I be telling y'all that with the answers. I need specifics. You know what I'm saying? Give me the details. That's why when a nigga was talking about a nigga was stealing somebody else's work, I already know I ain't have to press none of that because I was too detailed to be stealing a nigga. I done heard this nigga before. He not as detailed as I am. I didn't need a nigga to tell me he ain't detailed as I am because I already know that. But I didn't look at that like, oh, I'm better than him. That's just my modus of operandi. You know what I'm saying? Just because this person ain't detailed, I ain't gonna be like, oh, he ain't got no word. That's just how he chooses to operate. I don't choose to operate like that. That's just me. I don't say if you go to instruct when it's your time to do it, then you have to do that. But when I ask questions, I want details. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to make sure that you know them. I ain't say you had to teach them. You know what I'm talking about? I just need to know you know. See how you want them to show the work? That's why I want the detail. Because I just need to know you know. You know what I'm saying? I just need to know you know. Come on back to John chapter 4. And guess what? We have a lot of course material. So it's understandable that we have to stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance on a multitude of things. It's a lot of course material. It's not like, you don't know this nigga? Now, certain concepts of judgment and righteousness, absolutely, I believe you should know. But if you're talking about every doggone single solitary precept, concept, this, that, there, and the third, no, I don't have that expectation. But I do have the expectation of righteous judgment, loving kindness, and uprightness. I do have that expectation. Now, if I was to give you a life scenario, I would expect that you would be able to judge righteously in that scenario. Yeah, I do have that expectation. And I only have that expectation based off the level of course information that you have received over an extended period of time. John chapter 4, verse 14. But whosoever drinketh the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up to everlasting life. I'm sorry, I didn't even finish reading number 21. I'm sorry. Trying to get this nigga to get this junk right so we could buck his push-up because he looked like he don't do full push-ups. Oh, don't disrespect me, cuz. I can give you jailhouse push-ups. I can give you full push-ups, brother. Hey, man, my pectoral muscles are definitely strong enough to do 12 to 1,400 push-ups a day. It's not that hard. Now, I don't do them every day. I reserve those for Wednesdays. You do 4 sets of 50 regular push-ups, 4 sets of 50 incline push-ups, 4 sets of 50 decline push-ups, 4 sets of 50 deficit push-ups, and I do 2 types of deficit push-ups, and then 4 sets of 50, put your hands like this here, so you can get that inner chest. That ain't all, nigga. With back work and dumbbell swings, nigga. I just told you that. And on top of that, 4 sets of 100 or 4 sets of 50 dips, nigga. Nigga, I've been training for 17 years. Shoot, niggas do more push-ups in jail. Like, you ever did the deck of cards, nigga? Nigga, I done did workouts with dudes in jail. Nigga, your whole chest can't move. That nigga locked. But them niggas do the short range to keep the tension. That's why they chest be blowed up. They'll have days when they do full. They'll have days that, because for them it's the blood, it's the tension, because they're trying to get a bigger chest. Oh no, Ronnie Coleman do the lightweight, baby. Yeah, buddy. Now we don't do that. Ronnie Coleman will squat 800 pounds. Nigga, I did a deadlift today and my back gave out. And I ain't even had that much weight. It was the second warm-up set. No, I'm talking about that whole twinge, like, bop. I said, oh, Lord. It wasn't nothing but 185 pounds. Shoot, that was like, my back ain't what it used to be. That nigga said, don't get him going. Oh, no. That boy said, you lost me at 4 sets of 50. Now you got to push yourself, because before I was doing like 20, and I'm like, you still had some in the tank. No, I mean, that's just when you're doing something, you knowing you leaving reps in the tank. So what's the good of doing 20 and you know you can do 40? You trying to build muscle, or you trying to just, I did 20, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? You never quit doing push-ups, man. I never stopped doing dips, and I never stopped doing pull-ups. But I wasn't doing push-ups a lot, so I integrated a calisthenics day every Wednesday. They give me an excuse to do dumbbell swings. I do kettlebell swings on Friday. And that might be why my back gave out, because I did some dumbbell swings yesterday, and I usually don't do them on my days. Oh, that boy done came back, but Marvin got it. Marvin got it. He said, I can do 40 a set now. Hey, man, it don't matter how many you can do. It's about how much you can get that muscle right. If 10 reps don't get that muscle right, shoot, do 10 reps. Oh, no, my burpee game ain't nothing, because I don't do them. I don't do them. Because I don't wear shoes. I ain't never like doing burpees, though. I'd rather do the swings. The burpees burn fat, but I'd rather do the swings. I like to do kettlebell swings. I ain't gonna lie. I prefer to do the swings. I usually do about 650 swings each time. Each day I do them. But I had a workout where I had to do 1,000 swings 3 times a week. I mean, them swings help burn fat. So yeah, I like to do the swings. Never been a burpee guy. I didn't like it when we did them up the road. I was like, yeah, I just stick to the pull-ups, dips, and push-ups. I think it's all that jumping. Then my knees bad already. And I'm a back bad, so that's not a good combination. Verse 15, John chapter 4. Then the woman said unto him, Sir, give me this water, I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Yahushua said unto her, Go call your husband and come hither. That's why he coming with the reverse, because Rebecca didn't have to call her husband. All she had to do was go get her daddy. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahushua said unto her, You have well said, I have no husband, for you had 5 husbands, whom you now have is not your husband, and that you said truly. And you know why he told her that? Because he wasn't her husband either. Because she was a Samaritan. But this is also showing you that he was going to give access to the stranger to get some word. See, no brew could come in and say this woman was an Israelite because they would be lying. Because 2 Kings 17 let us know that these people were not Israelites in Samaria. And they let you know where they came from. Hold on, let me read it again. Just so you can know where these people came from, because these ain't Israelites. A nigga be quick to tell you somebody Israelite, but they lying. This man said these people came from Babylon, from Cutha, from Ava, from Hamath, and Seraphim. That's where they came from. There ain't no Israelites right there. These are Babylonians. If they Babylonians, that means they either Ishmaelites or Hamites. And it is what it is. The woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive you are a prophet. Our fathers worship in this mountain. You say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Yahushua said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour when you shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Abba. You know not what you worship. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Yahudim. But the hour come and now is when the true worshipers shall worship Abba and Ruach and in truth. For the Father seeks such to worship him, Elohim or Ruach. And they that worship must worship him in Ruach and in truth. And you know why he said, the time come when neither in this mountain nor in Jerusalem come? Because he told you in Ezekiel that, yes, sir. He told you in Ezekiel that he would make himself a sanctuary into all the places that you were scattered. See, these stupid niggas don't forget that the man told you in Ezekiel he was going to put you out. So how you going to come to Jerusalem to worship the man when Ezekiel already told you he was going to put you out? You know how we know Ezekiel going to take? Ezekiel wasn't in the land when he was prophesying these things. Ezekiel was still in Babylon. They hadn't even came back in the land. Ezekiel was telling them they were getting put out. And that Psalms 87:4. Oh, that's a little different. Come over here to Psalms 87:1. We'll end with that. It's 10 o'clock. You in your drop top cruising the streets? Better be careful, because Puffy gonna be looking for you. Because Usher made that song. He was probably cruising the streets trying to get away from Puffy. He was like, no, Sean, it hurts. It hurts my soul. I don't like it. Let me leave that man alone. His foundation in the Kadash Mountains. Yahuwah loved the gates of Zion more than the dwellings of Jacob. I mean, he loved Jerusalem more than any other city in the land. Glorious things are spoken of you, O city of Elohim. I think we talked about some of that this week. I will make mention of Rahab and Babylon to them that know me. Whole Philistia, Tyre, and Ethiopia, this was born there. Now, again, you know what this is telling you? It's telling you that the gospel will go to everybody. They're going to know about the Lord. And Zion, it shall be said that this and that man was born in her, and the highest himself established her. Yahuwah shall count when he write up the people that this man was born there. All that are written in the Lamb's what? Book of life. And you know why he was born there? Because where was the Lord born at? He was born in Bethlehem. He wasn't born in Zion. So how can it be about the Lord? Where did he resurrect from the dead from? Remember what Ecclesiastes, because a lady asked, she said, why don't men care about their birthday? And there was a lot of dudes seem pathetic, to be honest with you. And I say that because it seemed like a lot of these dudes wanted their birthday celebrated, but nobody would do it, or people stopped doing it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I told her, I don't celebrate my birthday personally. I don't see the need. I'm not against other people who do. She said, well, why you don't? I said, no, don't get it twisted. My people threw birthday parties for me as a child. You know what I'm saying? But as I began to age, it began to fade in importance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need a party. I don't need gifts. I don't need fanfare. I don't need all of those things. If you say happy birthday or do something, I'm going to be like, why you giving me that? You know what I'm saying? I'm appreciate it, but it wasn't, I ain't going to be like, you ain't have to do that, because you already know that I don't particularly care for that personally. You know what I'm saying? I'm damn sure not going to be. See, y'all ladies, so y'all like to do that stuff. Take pictures and hold your balloons and do all that type of stuff, because that's what y'all do. Y'all ladies, y'all into that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Most dudes is not going to do that. But there are dudes who like to celebrate their birthday and they want fanfare. And guess what? That's their business. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know a lot of Israelites come in the word. Oh, you in it? Yeah. I got you, my dude. You say your pop was Jehovah's Witness. He taught me. Be that how you live was more. Yeah. I didn't get to that point. I think the last time I acknowledged my birthday as an adult, I was like 21. You know what I'm saying? We had got some Moet, went somewhere, man. So I'm like, you know what? I could have just stayed home and did this. I didn't even want to come out here. You know what I'm saying? But she was more so saying that usually it's the women in your life that call, because some men probably wouldn't celebrate their birthday, but it's the women in their life that do, and then they feel obligated to participate because they feel like it's necessary. Even if you tell them that I don't care for this, because it's important to them. Now, a lot of Israelites are coming to the word, and they'll tell you it's a sin to celebrate your birthday. They'll be like, every time somebody in the Bible celebrate their birthday, they died. Yet they neglect the fact when they mention John the Baptist, that John the Baptist rebuked Herod about a lot of things, and celebrating his birthday wasn't one of them. He rebuked this man about it's not lawful for you to be with your brother's wife. He didn't say nothing about a birthday, though. Not a word. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, now if you study the Church of Satan, they will tell you that they want people to celebrate birthdays because that's the highest day on their calendar, because it's a day of self-idolatry. See, like some people like, have happy birthday, it's your day. No, this is the day that Yahuwah is made. It's not my day because I didn't make it. So it can't be my day. How can it be my day when it's millions of other people who were born on this date the same as me? So it's not my day. So I just don't participate, me personally. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of Ecclesiastes 7:1 tell you, better is the day of your death than your birth. And why is that important? Because the day Mashiach died is the day, and the day he rose from the dead was the day that he was born. That's how he was born in Jerusalem, because that's where he rose from. See, he wasn't born in Bethlehem. He was born in Bethlehem, but he got born again in Jerusalem. So that's how you can say this man was born there. So some people celebrate their baptism day and say that's their birthday. But again, I think I see that all is days to make things about yourself. You know what I'm saying? I just hold a viewpoint scripturally of this is the day that Yahuwah is made. We give thanks and praise to him about it. Now, if you want to celebrate your birthday, I don't care. Not, you know what I'm saying? Like, celebrate your birthday then. It's not a big deal. You want to go get a dinner, say, hey, it's my birthday, then go get a dinner, nigga. You know what I'm saying? If people want to bring you gifts for your birthday, then they bring you gifts. Don't be old curmudgeon around here. I don't celebrate that birthday stuff, like niggas know that. Niggas get mad because people be on their Facebook page saying happy birthday. I'm an Israelite. I don't celebrate birthdays. That's why you ain't got no friends, nigga. That's why don't nobody listen to you. A simple thank you, I appreciate it, would have sufficed. You made something simple into a fight, and for what? And for what? That's good enough, right? Hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. I appreciate y'all time this evening. Y'all willing, we'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, we'll play it by ear. But as it stands right now, because they haven't given a definitive time when this thing's supposed to make landfall. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that, because when it made landfall, it's going to dictate the effects that we get here. So if it was to make landfall around 7, 8 o'clock, it's just not feasible for y'all to be on the road. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? Less niggas trying to camp out again. And Muffin them had carpet at that time, and we ain't got no carpet in here. Well, now we would be at Darius' them house. And Darius' house ain't equipped for all you niggas. And then Muffin them stay across the bridge, so that's definitely they would be stuck. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but like I said, it's just not worth it to even take the risk of having nobody on the road. It's just not worth it. Praise the Lord, man. It's just not working. You know what I'm saying? I could just stream as if it was a normal Wednesday, and it just is what it is. But as it stands right now, unless I can find the time more definitively when it's supposed to make landfall, because like the last one didn't make landfall till like 11, 12. But even still, niggas will still be. It's just not working. It's just not working for y'all to be on the road. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir, 10K. If it be you who is will. Amen, brother Marcus. Love you too, bro. Yeah, I'll still stream. You know what I'm saying? As long as you who will allow power and internet. But I'm more so talking about because Wednesday night is the I will eventually, Isaac. But you who are willing, Wednesday is the last night of the observation of the feast. So I'm more so talking about the physical gathering of everybody. You know what I'm saying? And right now, based off of when this thing's supposed to make landfall, I can't have y'all out in the street like that. I just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because if we was gonna be out like that, then we all would have to be literally prepared that you staying here, or whoever house we at. And you would may rather if a storm is gonna give that level of strength, you would may rather be at your own house. Amen, man. Shalom, brother Ernie, man. So that's what that is, man. Because it's just not gonna be worth it. Because there ain't no telling how strong the wind's gonna be. And hell, them winds wasn't even strong with the last one, and that junk snatched trees up out the ground. You know what I'm saying? Because it definitely knocked over trees in my cousin's house. One of them tapped the house. You know what I'm saying? So it's just not gonna be worth it. To take that risk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it ain't gonna be worth it. But like I say, we'll see. Now, if they say that storm goes south a little bit, if it dips south, then we won't have that level of effects like that. Peace, brother Omar. And then we can reassess. But as of right now, how they tracking it, that junk ain't dipping south. When I say dipping south, meaning just sliding down like a couple mile. Like a couple mile adjustment pulls the cone further away from us.
Like St. Augustine area.
Yeah, something like that. No, not St. Augustine there. I'm talking about if the storm, like I think, say the laptop is the bay. Yes, sir. So, boy, don't you stay down there, boy. You be safe out there too, boy. Don't you stay down there, man. I think Zoe Hill, bro, or around there in Lakeland. So say that's the bay. They say right now it's supposed to be headed like this, but if it starts to do this here, then it bring the cone away from us. So it would be like maybe tropical storm type effects. But if it stayed like this, then we could get hurricane type effects. Because from what the model looking at, from the satellite I seen earlier, that storm is massive. You know what I'm saying? Because this would be the outer bands. See, they be looking at the eye, and you think the eye is just what you got to worry about. But them outer bands produce the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So with that one now. Because usually when storms hit that far south, we don't catch no effects. I think that last one was a huge storm also, and that's why we call it effects. You know what I'm saying? So, usually when they're that far away, we just get some rain and some light wind, not like Nigga thinking the storm gonna hit. Cause Nell had asked me last week, was we gonna slide? I was like, shoot, I wasn't planning on it. You know, they dealing with their own thing up there. They had a bio lab fire up there, man. Like some drunk out of movie. And she said she was out there, nigga, like her skin itching. And I had something Doc Ross said about getting ionizer, like them people probably gonna have some Hiroshima type poison. Yeah, I knew you stayed down there, man. You sliding from down there, you gonna rock out with it. Cause yeah, so down there itself. I need to hit Kira up. I think Kira good though. I think Kira on the backside of around there in Pahokee. Cause I know she on the East Coast. I think Pahokee closer to the East Coast, closer to Palm Beach. So she should be all right. Lord willing, I'll call her tomorrow. I had to call my uncle, see what he was gonna do. He said he gonna stay put. He said based where his house situated at, he should be good. So yeah, hit cars up. But sure, I will definitely say this here though, depending, you know what I'm saying? You got people around here, especially if you got family members and they old, you need to see about them, see what they got going on. Because after stuff over with, you might have to go around there and give them some type of assistance. You don't never know, man, especially if power go out. Because they saying to expect up here that just go ahead and expect that your power going out. You know what I'm saying? I had a generator, dude want it back now, so.
Yeah, I was looking online. And what you told me, they said a lot of people, it's all sold out in every store right now.
Oh, I could believe it. That junk was funny because what they were doing at Home Depot, nigga would rent their generators and then they wouldn't bring them back. So now Home Depot, you gotta drop like a $350, $400 deposit to get the generator. The rate for the generator is cheap as hell. Rate for the generator like $40 for 4 hours or like $70 for the day or something like that. But the deposit is like $400. Yeah, because niggas was stealing. Shoot, nigga told me I went to go rent a Home Depot truck the other day. They make you do pictures of your face and all this type of stuff. They ain't never used to do that. They say, man, nigga, Depot trucks on cargo containers, on shipping containers. Finding trucks in whole other states. But I appreciate y'all, man. I bless y'all the house Elohim in the name of Yahushua. I love y'all. You about to sell towers? Mika said they ain't have no power or no cell signal up there. Yeah, my homegirl in Colombia said they had power, but they ain't had no Wi-Fi. You know, so it all depends, man. Let you be praised. So y'all willing till tomorrow. So we go ahead and eat, man.